Good afternoon, fellow citizens. Ethan here, and let's learn about direct and indirect speech. So, direct speech repeats a speaker's exact words through the use of quotation marks. It is a person's exact words in nonfiction works such as biographies, autobiographies, essays, and news articles, among others. Here now are some examples of sentences using direct speech. Let us now go to indirect speech. Indirect speech does not use quotation marks. It reports what a person said without quoting them word for word. In other words, indirect speech involves rephrasing and paraphrasing. Even in the sentence, "she said yes," it can differ because in that sentence, quotation marks are used if it is a direct speech. But "she said yes" without the quotation marks before and after the word yes is an indirect speech. Indirect speech is also known as reported speech. That being said, indirect speech alters the sentence flow in order to fit the perspective of either the speaker or the writer. As you can see in this sentence, quotation marks were used. Why? Because it is a direct speech quoting someone's exact words. And this sentence without quotation marks is an indirect speech in order to fit the narrator's perspective. Verbs communicate emotion and reflects upon the relationship of the speaker and the listener, or the writer and the reader. Always use direct speech if you feel that the person's exact words are important, are crucial. That being said, imperative and interrogative sentence are best suited to direct speech. Indirect speech, however, is used for maintaining flow in academic or formal writing, as well as paraphrasing and summarizing. If you need to use direct speech, please use direct speech. This is why verb choices are important to convey a relationship between the speaker and the listener, or the reader and the writer. Here now are some examples being flashed on your screens. As you can see, these words used in the following sentences describe indirect speech through these approaches. Use if or whether if the question in an indirect speech is a yes or no question, and use who, what, where, when, how, or why in an indirect speech if it is a WH question. However, in an indirect speech, the sentence should still be structured as a statement. Let's learn how to convert indirect speech to direct speech. And in order to do that, we will now follow a set of do's and don'ts. When the reporting verb is in the past tense, adhere to these guidelines to backshift effectively. Present simple to past simple, present progressive to past progressive, present perfect to past perfect, will to would, and can to could. Number 2, know when to and when not to backshift or alter the tense in the sentence. Although it is grammatically allowed, it is sometimes avoided for stylistic clarity or relevance, especially if the original quote is current or significance. If the reporting verb is in the present or future tense, do not backshift. And when the original statement expresses a universal truth, do not shift the tense even if it is in the past. And adjust pronouns accordingly based on who is actually saying those sentences. And in converting complex sentences, be sure to maintain a consistent tense and pronouns when you adjust multiple clauses. To plus infinitive are used for imperative sentences, either negative or affirmative. For example, Aina advised me to be more calm and patient. The sentence that I used here is for academic purposes only. It is up to you if you should use direct or indirect speech. But using speech effectively counts. Thank you for listening.